Former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee testified before the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. Huckabee is President Trump's pick to be the next ambassador to Israel and has been a longtime opponent of a two-state solution. He was interrupted by hecklers several times. The well-known evangelical Christian's appointment comes at a time when mediators are trying to get the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas back on track.
And I'm grateful that President Trump has charged me with the extraordinary privilege to serve as ambassador to the State of Israel if confirmed. The ongoing war and the situation with the hostages, including American citizens, makes this assignment urgent.
Huckabee says if confirmed, he plans to carry out the president's priorities and not his own.